Okay, dear students. So today we are doing one more question of June 2024 pre-mock, which is available on ACCA website. So you can get this question from ACCA website. All I would also recommend you to first solve this mock in on ACCA website. Then as a second reference, you can watch this question. But yes, obviously this explanation will benefit you a lot. And I would request you, if you like my explanation, if you like this question, do subscribe the channel and do write a comment on this video, right? Okay, give your feedback. Thank you. Let's start. So this is the name of the question is super goods. Super goods company. Super good company is engaged in manufacturing of home appliances, which it distributes through a network of dealer and departmental stores throughout the country of Zealandia. The market for home appliances is very competitive. There are a lot of competition is there. The following data shows some of the key ratios. Okay, so right now they have given you industry average, sector average. We call it industry average. Now, just for an idea, as you all know, you guys have done many questions of ratios before. So they have given you sector average and industry average. So now they are going to, in the first requirement, they will ask you to calculate ratios of this company and then compare it with industry average and then comment. So that's very simple, right? Okay, one ratio is written here. Rows is 20. Rows is, let me write here, 29.4%. Okay, so this is one more ratio. I hope you got it. So these are industry average. Now the name of our company is Super Goods. Okay, so for this Super Goods, your year end is 30th September X3. Year end is 30th September X3. 30th September X3. Okay, so you have revenue, cost of sales, gross profit, operating expenses, operating profit, finance costs. All these things are given. Income statement is given. You can see the income statement is given in front of you. Okay, then you have SOFP. In SOFP you have property, plant and equipment. Definitely they are referring you a note number 1. Then intangible assets, yes, intangible assets are also there. Then you have inventories and trade receivables. That is this is current asset and these are your total assets. Then you have ordinary share capital, yes, highlighted. Revaluation surplus as well. You have revaluation reserve as well. So that means there is some item, there is some property, plant and equipment which you are, for which you are using revaluation model, for which you are using revaluation model. Okay, then you have retained earning, and so you have borrowings as well. You have borrowings, 8% loan note of 28,000, significant amount, right? Then you have trade payable, overdraft. Wow, overdraft, yes. Overdraft is a very dangerous current liability. Overdraft is a dangerous current liability. Okay, then this is the situation. Okay, now let's read the notes. This will give you some idea. The property, the PPE includes a property acquired by Super Goods company some years ago. The property has been recently valued, which has resulted in the revaluation surplus as shown under the equity. Okay, so that means there are many things in under PPE. So which item is revalued? Property. The property building is revalued. Okay, right? Now the next point is, see that this is the next, the plant. Please be very careful. The plant and equipment have been in use for many years. So it's old, and the company is now considering to replace it with the modern equipment which would enhance quality and efficiency. So what does it mean? It means your property, plant, your plant, only plant is very old. Very old means extremely highly depreciated. For example, just for your example, you bought the plant for 10,000, but till now there is an accumulated depreciation of 8,000. So we call it, when the plant is very old, so that means the NBV or carrying amounts are very low, right? And this also indicates that in future, in near future, you need to replace it. Now use your brain. When in near future you need to replace it, so definitely you need funds. You need funds. So you need to check your cash position. And in near future, the second option, in near future, if you don't have cash, yes, you can take loan. You can take it through loan, but for loan you need to check your gearing. For loan, for buying through loan, you need to check your gearing, whether your gearing allows you to buy more or not. Okay, so these are some points. Okay, there is one third point as well which I will use in the commentary as well, and that is, when you have very old, 2 points I'll raise. When you have very old plant, that means, with old cars you need to go to mechanic every week. If you have old car, you need to go to mechanic every week, right? That's the problem. Same is here. So if you have old plant, you need to incur very high repairs cost, high repair and maintenance cost, which is going to affect your operating expenses, which normally increases your operating expenses. And when your operating expenses goes up, your operating profit goes down, so the operating margin. Okay, be careful. One more thing, when you have very old plant, that means those plants are preparing, are making old type of goods, not the latest type of goods, right? So that also means the product which you are selling is not a high quality product. And when you are not selling a high quality product, you are not going to get good price. And when you are not going to get good prices, that means low prices means low margin, low GP margins, right? So there is a possibility your GP margin will be low because of this. So in this one paragraph I have discussed many points. Be very active. Now next thing is, the intangible assets includes patents. Patents are your rights. Okay, that means you have registered your patents, or you have taken some rights from somebody. Okay, the life of the patents amounting to 6.5 million would expire in just 2 years, 2 years time. Now wait, important. Let me move the screen, see this. The total intangible asset is 7500, means 7.5 million. The total intangible asset is 7500, means 7.5 million. And out of this 7.5 million, they are saying 6.5 million. 6.5 million are going to be expired in just 2 years. So that means the major intangible asset will be wiped off. Soon, within 2 years, major intangible asset will be wiped off. So when you won't have any intangible asset or patents in future, that means the rights, how will you produce technological things? So this is going to be a disaster for your business. This is going to be a disaster for your business. And nothing is written in the question about new development costs, new plans, new research and development projects which you are planning to start in. So there is no such hints. So that means after 2 years you will be no more with these patents and all. So how will you produce new technological products? So that's going to be a nightmare for your business. That's going to be a going concern issue for your business. You can write in your solution, right? These are points. The company sells its appliances mainly through the dealer network, which is 80%. See, this is one more bad news. 80% of sales. That means that from total sales, 80% of sales are done through dealers on an average. The balance comes from retail sales. Now, use your brain. When you sell your products through dealers, you have to give a big amount of commission to dealers. So in that case, your profitability reduces. Okay? But if you sell directly to the customer through retail sales, you can make more money. So this is also one of the reason. In the question you will see, if there is low GP margin, then the reason for that low GP margin may be that we are selling we are selling through dealers, and because of that we can't get much good selling price, because we have to give big commissions. So you can also interpret it like you have to bear some cost, extra cost, as your 80% sales are through dealer. I was reading some magazine, and I think there is a company, Tesla company normally don't sell cars through dealers, they sell their own through their own showrooms, right? They don't give dealership and all. Now, so that they can make more money. The industry has shifted to retail sales in the recent past. Now, see, this is also very important point. The whole industry is doing retail sales. The whole industry doing retail sales, but we old school people, we are working through dealers. We are working through dealers. Okay. Now, the 8% loan notes were issued 3 years ago. The 8% loan notes issued 3 years ago and would be due for repayment in 2005. Important point, 2000x5. So right now it's 2000x3. So just after 2 years, you have to repay this big loan. You have to prepay this 28,000. See this 28,000 loan you have to pay. And for your information, see the SOFP. See the SOFP. There is no physical cash, positive cash. You are in overdraft. You are in overdraft. You don't have cash. So how you are going to repay it? So when you won't be able to repay it, so there are two options. Number one is rollover. You request to rollover, like Pakistani government requests China. Normally, Pakistani government requests China to roll over the loans. This is a routine thing for Pakistan. So same is the case here. You need to ask your lenders that please roll over the loan. Or if, in other words, if you don't have cash, it's going to be going concern. The creditors are going to sue you for that. These all points are relevant. Now one more turning point. The company paid $4.5 million paid dividend in the current year. Oh, how is it possible? Just think, already we are in overdraft and we paid such a big dividend. Some directors had questioned the propriety of this huge payout that increased bank overdraft. Yes, this is a big question, that already we are in loan, already we are in crisis, and we are distributing big dividends. So there are many indications with this number. First of all, that the board is under pressure of shareholder. Board is under pressure of shareholder to take dividends. Number two, when that, it's also mean that management, the investors, the owners are not willing to block their own funds. Owners are not willing to block their own funds. That's why they are taking out their funds, and they want to take loan. Just they want to be dependent on loan like this. Listen, see, this is the total structure. This is equity, this is equity, and this is loan. This is the total finance structure of this company, for example. Now what owners are doing, owners are withdrawing equity. Owners are withdrawing equity in the form of dividends, because when you withdraw dividends, ordinary dividends, you have to reduce your retained earning. You have to reduce your retained earning. So that means owner is eating up, taking away equity, so leaving the remaining area on loan. They are happy to be dependent on loan finance. Okay. One more thing, when such huge dividends are going to be taken out from the business, it shows that owners are no more interested in doing or expanding the business. It means, it's an indication that they are downsizing. It's an indication that there are less opportunities available. It's an indication that there is high competition and we can't do competition, so we are going to pack up. We are going to pack up. These all points are relevant. These all points are relevant. I have discussed many points, many points, to be very honest. And the points which I have discussed, you can easily write the whole answer with these points. Now, the first thing, the free marks. I openly say these are free marks. Free 8 marks. Free, these are 8 marks, okay? And these are 12 marks. Okay? So first you have 8 marks and then you have 12 marks, right? So 8 marks means, okay, I calculate all ratios. but I would request you to, my dear student, to take the picture of these two. Let me pause the screen. Please take the picture of both of these income statement and SOFP, so that you can easily please take it, because now I won't be able to bring my screen to this page. Okay, take the picture. Thank you. Then you have, these are the ratios. These are the ratios which we have to calculate. Again, you can take the picture of this as well. You can take the picture of this as well. Okay, so now requirement number A I am doing. Requirement number A. See, just to save the time, many things I have already written. First of all, I have written the name of the ratios and the formulas of those ratios. Even you all know the formulas. Even you all know the formula. So formula is not a big thing at all. Okay. So, and then in the last column, I have written sector average. In the last column, I have written sector average. Okay. Now, so GP margin is GP upon sales. My dear student, please see the screen. So gross profit is for 42,000 divided by, my dear student, sales is 120,000, multiply by 100, so you will get 35%. This is the answer. This is the answer. Okay, I have already told you to take the picture of the question. You can see from that question. Okay, then you have operating margin. Operating margin means operating profit divided by sales into 100. Operating profit means PBIT. So your PBIT in this question is 13,200 divided by sales is 120,000, multiply by 100. This is going to be 11%. Okay, right? Then you have interest cover. Interest cover is PBIT divided by interest expense. So PBIT is 13,200 divided by interest expense is 2950. So this is going to be 4.5 times. Okay, and this is 8.3 times. Okay, right? This is 8.3 times. Now let me discuss these three first. I'm not going to solve it everything. Wait, just let's discuss the B part, commentary of these three. Okay, so first read the requirement. This is very easy. The computation of ratio is almost free marks. To be very honest, it's free marks. Now they are saying, using the ratios, see the requirement, B requirement, using the ratios calculated in A above and the information given, analyzes the financial performance and financial position. There are something performance is linked to income statement, and position is linked to statement of financial position is linked to SOFP. Okay, so first of all, these income statement ratios like GP margin, GP upon sales, both income statement, operating margin, operating a profit upon sales, both income statement things. Interest cover, interest cover is PBIT upon interest expense. So these are income statement things. These are income statement things. Okay, so let me discuss these things with you. Okay, one more ratio, if you need to calculate, you may, and that is ROS. It is written, I have written in the end, ROS. ROS is PBIT upon sales into 100. So PBIT is PBIT upon capital employed. Sorry, PBIT is 13,200. Let me write, divided by capital employed. Capital employed, there are two formulas: total assets less current liabilities. That's also perfect. Or you can add shareholder equity plus long term loan. So I'm using the second formula. So shareholder equity is 33,500 plus loan is 28,000, multiply by 100, multiply by 100, multiply by 100. Okay, so this is going to be 21.5%. This is going to be 21.5%, 21.5%. Okay, I'm sure you can see this. You can see the screen. Okay, now if I discuss requirement B, financial performance. Okay, so in financial performance, first you can see that your GP margin is 35% C, but the industry average is 45%. So that means our GP margin is low as compared to industry average. Now, what are the reasons? What are the reasons? Just find out. I'm going to just write some hints, pointers. You have to write, you have to pick the answer yourself. Okay, I'm just going to give you pointers. So the first reason is, GP margin is low. It's an indication that your selling prices are low. Your selling price, GP margin low. Okay. So why your selling prices are low? Can you tell me? Can you tell me the reasons? The one reason is that we are selling through dealers. We are selling through dealers, and that's why we are not able to get good prices. They charge big commission, big cuts, right? So super selling through dealers. That's why not able to charge high prices. On the other hand, the competitors, the other industry players, they are directly selling retail sales. You hope you remember the question. So that's why they are making good selling prices. Everything is going in their own pocket. So that's why their margins are high. One more reason is our plant was outdated. Our plant was outdated. So we might not producing quality goods. That's why we are not able to charge. Okay, that's why we are not able to charge high prices, and when we are not charging high prices, that's why our margin is low. Okay, this may be the second reason. Now, next you have operating margin. You have operating margin. Operating margin is also, although industry margin is also low, but our margin is comparatively much more lower than the sector. Okay, what's the reason? When you're the first reason, see, go very slow. And 100 times I've told you in my classes, if you have taken my classes, first of all, carried forward effect. See, as our GP margin is low, so obviously our operating margin will be low. The G operating profit follows the trend of GP. When your GP is low, automatically your operating profit will be low. So the first reason is, listen, carried forward effect of operate GP margin. Okay, when GP margin is low, operating margin will also be low. Second reason, your operating expenses are out of control. And third reason why your operating expenses are out of control, because your plant is outdated. Your plant is outdated. That's why you guys are incurring more. You guys are incurring more of repairs and maintenance cost. Okay, these may be the reasons. So why operating? Number one, carried forward effect of GP. Right? Carried forward effect of GP. The second reason is operating cost not in control. Okay, be confident, be confident. Confidence is the key. Third reason, third reason that your plant is old, that's why need to incur high operating cost. Okay, need to incur high, sorry, no, need to incur high repairs and maintenance cost. High repairs and maintenance cost. Okay, one more reason you can add, that there might be some impairment. Impairment is also possible. Okay, so these are the points you can write. Then you have ROS, return on capital employed. You know, ROS is the product of two things: operating margin, asset turnover, and operating margin. Hope you remember. You have studied in the class. Asset turnover and operating margin. Asset turnover and operating margin. Asset turnover and operating margin. Okay. So see, is your ROS down? Yes, 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 yes. See, your ROS is down. Industry average is 29.4%. Ours is 21.5% now. Simple, simple. Why your ROS is down? Because your operating margin is also down. Your operating margin is also down. Okay. Okay. Right. Now I am going to discuss one more thing. Low ROS means low management. What ROS reflects? ROS reflects the management efficiency. ROS reflects the management. Low ROS means low management efficiency. Okay. Now listen. Now I am going to discuss the first technical area of this today's class. Listen. I hope you remember this thing, that ROS equals PBIT divided by capital employed, and there is one formula: total assets less current liability. Do you remember? Capital employed formula is total asset less current liability. Okay, now use your brain and listen to me very carefully. I am going to discuss one extra point, heavy point, good point. Just think, our plant was old. In this question, according to this question, our plant was very old. Very old means already high depreciation has been done. So your plant cost is like 10,000, for example, just for an example. Your plant cost is 10,000 and the accumulated depreciation is almost 80%. Just for example, I'm giving you an example. So your NBV is 2000. Okay. NBV 2000. So just think, when your asset is extremely old, when your asset is extremely old, that means already depreciated a lot, so NBV is low. NBV means carrying value, and when your carrying value is low, that means your assets value is low. Your assets value is low, and when your assets value is low, your capital employed is low, so your ROS must be higher. Your ROS should be higher, but still our ROS is lower. But still, with these small tiny with these small and tiny carrying amounts of non-current asset, still our ROS is low. It should be higher. This should be a positive point for us. Let me say this in Urdu. हमारा रोस उसूलन ज्यादा होना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारे एसेट्स की कैरिंग अमाउंट तो कम है, क्योंकि एसेट्स तो बुरी तरह डेप्रिशिएट हो चुके हैं। तो उसूलन तो हमारा रोस ज्यादा होना चाहिए, फिर भी हमारा रोस कम है। सोचें कितने बुरे हैं हम। So this is one more negative point for us. So one more thing. Now in near future, we are going to replace our plant, and when we'll replace our plant, our assets will increase. The value of our assets will increase, and when our assets will increase, so there will be a bad impact on ROS. So we'll tell our shareholders that get ready for more fall. Get ready for more fall in the ROS, because when we will be replacing our plant, we'll have a negative impact on ROS. Use your brain. Let me give you this point. The carrying amounts of plant already low. This should support ROS, but still, with this positive point, ROS is low. With this positive point, ROS is low, right? So when in near future this plant will be replaced, it will be more negative for ROS. Not difficult point, because I have explained you. Not difficult point, I have explained you, and even I to teach this thing routine in my class, in my ratio class. Okay. One more thing you can calculate, and that is extra thing you can calculate, and that is asset turnover. Wait, separately, asset turnover is sales divided by capital employed. How much is our sales? 120,000. And how much was our capital employed? Let me show you. Our capital employed was 33,500 plus 28,000. 33,500 plus 28. So if you calculate it, this will come like 1.95 times. 1.95 times. Okay, right? This is our asset turnover. And if you want to calculate asset turnover of industry, there is a shortcut. See, for industry we have ROS is given and operating margin is given, so we can calculate this balancing asset turnover easily. Come on, use your calculator. See, operating margin is 17 and the ROS is 29.4. Operating margin is 17 and the ROS is 29.4. Use your calculator. 29.4 divided by 17. Do 29.4 divided by 17. You will get asset turnover of the sector industry. 29.5 divided by 17.4. So this will be, let me check. This will be 1.72 times. Okay. So currently our asset turnover is better than industry. Currently our asset turnover is better than industry, but yes, be careful. In the near future, when we will be replacing the plant, so our denominator, this denominator will go up. This denominator will go up. Our denominator will go up. And once our denominator will go up, our asset turnover will go down in near future. Our asset turnover will go down in near future. Okay. So as an extra point, if you want to add asset turnover, you can do. And you have done the exam kit. Please don't solve things blindly. Be active. Be active. Solve question with open eyes and open brain. Active brain. This is routine in many exam kit questions that if 5 ratios are given, examiner sometimes calculate during commentary. Examiners sometimes calculate extra ratio to give more depth on the discussion, right? So this thing is possible, and this thing is marks scoring. This thing will earn you marks. This thing will get you marks. Okay. So now which ratio is less? Just interest cover we have to discuss. Then we'll switch to interest cover again. Just I'm telling you orally, our interest cover is low as compared to industry. So that means our interest paying ability, what interest cover shows? Interest cover shows the interest paying ability of the company. So yes, our interest paying ability is low. Why? Because we are already highly geared. We are extremely highly geared. We have taken a lot of loan. So this is a negative point for our lenders. So normally lenders don't give loans to such parties with less interest cover, because now our interest paying ability is low. So this is something dangerous for lenders to give us loan. Okay, right? So now we are moving towards these remaining ratios, and then we'll discuss the remaining part. Okay. Okay, so now we are moving with these ratios, the gearing and all. So gearing is debt. Debt means non-current loans divided by shareholder equity. You know that you have the question, please check. So your non-current loans are 28,000. 28,000 divided by the equity is 33,500. 33,500 multiply by 100. Okay, so this will be 83.6%. Okay, now current ratio is very simple. Current assets upon current liability. Go check the SOFP. So current assets are 37,700 divided by current liabilities are 34,200. Okay, so this will be 1.10 is to 1. Okay, then you have inventory holding period in days. So it's closing stock which is 20,200. 20,200 divided by cost of sales which is 78,000 into 365. This will be 95 days. Okay, then you have receivable holding period. Receivable holding period means closing receivables divided by sales into 365. So it's going to be 17,500 divided by sales is 120,000 into 365. This will be, I think, 53 days. Okay. So now we are going to discuss the financial position ratios. Financial position ratios. Now we are going to discuss the financial position ratios. Now we are going to discuss the financial position ratios. Okay, right? So first of all, gearing. Very simple, now it's not difficult. Our gearing is almost double. Gearing is almost double. Gearing is almost double than industry average, which reflects high risk, which reflects high financial risk, because when your gearing is high, your financial fixed cost is high, and when your gearing is high, you have many loans, and when you have many loans, that means you have to pay, you have to do preparation for payment as well. Okay, so apparently it looks like that the risk of the company is high. Risk of the company is very high. Risk of the company is very, very high, right? Okay, now next thing is, okay, now next thing is, come, if you see, now you check the balance sheet. In the SOFP there is no positive cash, we are already in overdrawn. No positive cash, we are in overdrawn, right? And knowing this, in near future we have to buy plant and machinery, we have to buy plant and machinery in near future. Replacement of plant, in near future, replacement of plant, right? So when you will be replacing plant in near future, when you will be replacing plant in near future, so you will be needing cash, and you are out of cash, you are out of cash. So there is one option, you have to go for loan, but you are already in high gearing, you are already in high gearing, so you cannot take more loans as well, you are already in high gearing. So now the last option left is operating lease. You need to take asset on lease like operating lease. Okay, so this is all the prediction of future. So the last option is lease. So the last option is lease. Now one more issue, practical issue. See, there were practical points we saw in the question. With this bad condition of cash, we shareholders, the company gave such a big dividend, gave huge dividend, 4.5 million. This indicates that shareholders want to divest. Divest. This indicates no opportunities in the business. This is basically downsizing. Downsizing of business. Okay. And this also shows that when you are removing your equity, that means you want to rely on loan. it also means shareholder wants to rely on loan. Okay, now one more point, that company has to repay loan in 2 years. Remember the repayment of loan time in 2 years. Right now it's 2000x3 and loan has to be repaid in 2 years. Repaid in 2 years, but company has no cash. So only option is rollover. Rollover. We'll request the lender that please give us few more years time. Please give us few more years time. And if there is no rollover option, then going concern. Then your assets will be forcefully sold. They will sell your assets forcefully. Okay. Then one more point. This is about patents. The total patents. Listen. See the screen. The total patents, the intangible assets are 75, 7,500, 7.5 million, and out of 7.5 million, 6.5 million patents will be expired in 2 years. Will be expired in 2 years. Major patents expiring soon. And company does not have any other research and development projects. Company does not have any research and development project. Apparently it looks like, as the information already we can say that the limited information is given, but what we can see, there is no development project. So it means in the near future we won't be able to produce any technological goods, because we won't have any rights or patents for that. Which itself a going concern, which itself a going concern indicator, going concern indicator, which itself a going concern indicator, which itself a going concern indicator. Okay. So you have discussed many points. First of all, you discuss high gearing point. You discuss the cash point, that there is no cash you have and you are already in overdrawn. So in the near future, when you will be buying plant, you need to replace the plant. How will you replace? You don't have cash, and you can't even take more loans because you are already highly geared. You are already highly geared. So the only option is lease option, like operating lease. Okay. Then you have, we discuss the dividend issue, then we discuss the loan repayment issue, then we discuss the patents issue. One more issue you can just give us slight highlight, and that is about current ratio, that your liquidity is not good. Liquidity is not good. Okay. Yes, one more thing, and that is point number 6. You know why we are running out of cash? One reason is huge amount is blocked in working capital, inventory and receivable. Huge amount huge amount is blocked in working capital, inventory and receivable. Inventory and receivable. The reason, let me give you the logic. Be active. Let me give you the logic. The logic is high debtor days and high. See this. This is the logic. This is the evidence. Your see your inventory days and your receivable holding period both are double of the industry. Both are double of the industry. Double. So that means you have invested huge amount in inventory and receivables. Okay. Now it indicates poor working capital management. Poor working capital management. It indicates poor working capital management. Poor working capital management. Okay. And you know why we have so much amount in receivable? Because in the start, let me connect dots. In the starting we discussed that we are selling through dealers. We are selling through dealers. Remember, 80% sales, 80% sales. We are not selling direct to the customer. So when you sell to dealers, that means you gave them loan, you gave them credit, you have to give them credit. And we are not able to collect money from these dealers. Our dealers management is not good. That's why a huge amount is blocked in receivables. You getting my point? Okay. Did you understand this point? See, we don't have cash. Why we don't have cash? Why we are suffering? One reason for suffering is our money is blocked in inventory and receivable. And what is the evidence? The evidence is your high inventory days and high receivable days. And why your receivable days is high? Because other competitors, the other industry players, they are doing majority sales directly through retail sales, and we are doing through dealers. And normally this is the market norm, that when you do it through dealers you have to give them credit. So that's why our money is blocked in receivable, and we cannot get it on time because our dealers management is not good. Finally, the conclusion. In the conclusion you will write that the overall situation of this company is not good, right? Overall situation is not good. Company is running out of cash. Even there are some indicators of going concern in future, going concern problem in the future. Plus you will say that the performance ratios, the starting ratios are still okay, but the financial position ratios are worse. Okay, so you can write like this. I hope you understood it. It's not difficult. It's all about your activeness, your focus, your confidence, right? So these are very important days, last days. So better don't waste it. Plan it accordingly, revise it, read examiner report, read all articles, try to make your exam folder, revise it, do multiple mocks, right? Time bounded mocks. So it's time to say goodbye. Take care, and if you like this video, do comment on it. Thank you.